CEO wa Mara. Karibu sana.
Thank you. Bwana asifiwe. God is good and all the time. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you for inviting me, Ma'am, and Bwana Kagere. I am very grateful for this opportunity. Watu wa California, thank you for welcoming me very well. I am excited, and yeah, I don't know how I can thank you. I'm grateful. Now, briefly, because there's some of us who have spoken, but I just wanted to stress on the importance of investing and just taking you down memory lane with what has been happening in Kenya. Most of us have been there and we know what has happened. I was giving an example of the Degwa. How many people know the Degwa? Good. The Degwa, hapo 0908, ungepata 3/4 of an acre for about 3 million. Ni kweli ama si ukweli? Ni ukweli. Today, if you go to the Degwa, the same 3/4 of an acre is going for how much? 75 to 100 million, if you are lucky. Now, go to a place like Garden Estate. 09, half an acre in Garden Estate was 4 million. I had offers for 4 million. Garden Estate. Today, Garden Estate is 35 to 40 million, 45 million, depending on where it is and the soil profile. Go to places like Ruaka. The same thing. Go to Tatu City. I was telling, when Tatu City was launched, I went for the meeting. And when they started selling, the plots they would sell for 3 million, quarter an acre. Today, the same plot is 26 million. Half an acre is 52 million from 5 million. So what am I trying to say? The rate at which properties are appreciating is very high. And you're lucky because God has given you an opportunity to earn and to invest back home. So take advantage of that. One of the things I was saying is, when you're investing, ask yourself a question. Why are you investing? What do you want to accomplish? Is it that you want to grow your wealth? In that case, you need to look for a place that is developing, not a place that has already matured. Because if you go to the Degwa today, utaitishwa 100 million, right? But if you want to grow your wealth, look for a place that is developing, a place that was the Degwa 10 years ago, and invest there. And as a Mara, we go for the places that have potential to grow, that are developing. That's why we're in Ruiru East, that's why we're on Kangudo Road, that's why we're in Nanyuki. Because those are areas that have very high potential of growth. Today, I'm selling you a plot in Ruiru East for 1.55 million. Fast forward, close your eyes, and see Ruiru East Mwalimu Farm becoming the Degwa, or becoming Kamakis, or becoming Garden Estate, 5-10 years down the line. The question is, we have talked about it. And me, I'm a victim of having seen something that was so cheap, an acre of land along Kamakis, and that was in 2010 and I never bought. Today, every time I speak about investment, the first thing that comes to mind is that acre of land. Because right now it's worth so much that I ask myself, if I had invested, my wealth would have grown that much. But I always tell myself, it's never late. Whatever I am buying and whatever I am selling, every project I go into, I make sure I'm left with something. So the first project I sold in Ruiru East, me niko na plot. The second, I have a plot. All of them, I have a plot. Why? Because I don't want to be said off. That's a lady who used to sell. Alikuwa nauza mashamba huku. Wengine wenyu kama yeye, he has overinvested there. He has more land in Ruiru East than I have as Jane in my name. Leave alone Amara Realty, but as Jane, because he knows the value of that place. So this is a time to invest. 2 years ago, how much was a dollar against the Kenya shilling? 2 years. Yes, about 90, 100, call it 100. Today it's almost hitting 140. What does that tell you as Americans? That something you bought 2 years ago, right? You're going to pay 30% less for the same thing, more or less. Assuming the prices remained the same. But I was telling people, the land I started selling, the first plot I sold in Ruiru East, I sold for 950. Today, I'm selling the same plot for 1.55 million. And there are some plots I sold for 1.2. So those people who bought at 1.2 actually paid more than anybody who is buying today at 1.55. Because you have the advantage of the dollar. So take advantage of the dollar and invest now. The young ones, you have an opportunity to grow your wealth very quickly. I know you're earning good money here, but diversify. Diversify, come to Kenya, grow your wealth there. You'll be coming to Kenya and looking at your plots and you're saying, okay, I bought this at 1.55, it's now 15 million, it's 20 million. Is it good money? Will it help your children go to school, to college? Exactly. Look at it that way. What is it going to do for you? And time flies. Where were you 10 years ago? In school. Where were you 5 years ago? You are working. Good. Time flies. 5 years just zoom by. 10 years just zoom by. Ask yourself, when you look back, after those years have zoomed by, will you be proud of the decisions you made 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 years ago? So that's my challenge, and that's my, what can I call it? That's my take. Look at it that way. Do something today. Kikuyus, they say, okoro oreaga wethi. What you do now as a young people is what is going to give you the lifestyle you want tomorrow. That's what will matter tomorrow. The sacrifices you make. I was telling some young girls who were here earlier, there are decisions I made when I was in my 20s that if I knew, I would have done things differently. Because the temptation is for the young people, you get a job. So the first thing, you get your house. The next thing, a very nice car. Then your salary increases. You're like, oh, I don't like this neighborhood. You move to another neighborhood. And this happens a lot even in Kenya to the young people. You move to a new neighborhood and that becomes a trend. Every increment or every monies you get, you're looking for something better to do or improve your life in terms of lifestyle. And I did that for quite a while until I was 30. And at the age of 30, I looked back and I asked myself, okay, what do you have, Jane? I was living in a 4-bedroom house with a DSQ and I was driving a very good car. I asked myself, and it was rented, It wasn't mine, it was rented. So I asked myself, today if I lost my job, what would happen? Would I really pack my things and go back to Murang'a? Because that was what was going to happen. I didn't have a house, and every time I got an increment was, how can I improve my lifestyle? And that's a temptation. Because if you don't have something you do with your money, the temptation is to improve you, to improve the way you live. And that's a trap for the young people particularly. So at 30, I decided, you know what, from this 4-bedroom house with a DSQ, I'm moving to a 2-bedroom apartment. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to stay with this car for a while. And I did that. And the things I did now in those years after that is what I am eating today. That's what has created Amara Realty. If I didn't make that decision, today I would not have Amara Realty. Because I built Amara Realty from my pension, from the money I got, from the investments I made. You know, so that is a challenge. And you're asking yourself, who robbed me? Right? Because money has disappeared somehow. So get into a project and you will be glad that you did. So we do have projects, Ruiru East, Joska, and Nanyuki. Yeah. We have shared with you. Karibuni sana. Then we can discuss.
Thank you very much. Tupige Amara Realty. So as we wind up, because I know my people are watching me na watu wameona nikiongea kuhusu Amara sana. Hizo picha unaona hapo, hiyo gate unaona hapo, si ati ni ya kucholwa. That is exactly what you'll see when you go to this land. Hiyo gate mimi nimekuwa hapo ikijengwa. I opened this project pale Joska. Is actually in Joska. Na hii plot here anauzanga 100 by 100. So 100 ni kubwa sana. She doesn't sell 50 by 100, but she does sometimes out of demand. Lakini ukitaka space kubwa, just talk to her. Sitamwambia atuelezee bei because you have the prices there, When we are talking about 1.55 million, we are talking about $11,000. And maybe imerudi chini, sijui dola imefika walifanya hiyo ikiwa dola ikiwa pesa ngapi. So you just need to talk to her. Make sure you, hata kama utalipa pesa yote. Sometimes I tell her, hata kama una pesa unaogopa, just book a plot and then go think about it. Because when you book a plot, Mungu, unafikiria hata watu wengi tulikuwa tunaogopa kuoa kwa sababu unashindwa, kama wewe hujipatii chakula, utapea mtu mwingine chakula? But let me tell you, wakati mtu alioa, huyo bibi alikuja na chakula yake. Wakati ulipata mtoto ukafikiria huwezi pata, sasa ako na yake. Sasa niko na watoto 3 na kila mtu mimi naona ako na chakula yake. But then when I was alone, stomach yangu ilikuwa kubwa sana kuliko. So please just do that and encourage her. Hata kama uko na mashamba mingi, si hata unaweza tu hurumia yeye useme acha ni buku tu kaproti kamoja. Si ndio hiyo pastor? Useme acha tu ni invest na huyo madam. Nipande tu begu. Useme kama nile kurusha mkate kwa maji. Sema acha nirushe tu hapo hivyo. And then we'll talk about it. Kuna mtu akona swali tukimaliza? Ndio niite pastor atuombe. Kuna mtu akona swali? Hata Wakikuyu, hata watu wasio Wakikuyu wana invest sana hapo. Kwanza hii Joskai, my friend. Think about that. Okay? Kwa mro na kiulia. Uliza. Muulizia haraka. Installment. Yeah, it is here. Installment you can pay whichever land you decide, whether it is in Nanyuki, whether it's a Roiro East. Na nilisema ukisikia Roiro East usije ukiuliza hiyo East ni ya wapi. It's just venye tuko hapa California, kuna East, kuna South, kuna North, but yote ni California. So when you hear Roiro, it's somewhere you can come from Nairobi, ufike the same day, go back. So is a drive of 45 minutes from Nairobi to that property. So whatever side you come from, hata Thika, Kiambu, Githunguri, no okoli raki mara Ikipia. But Roiro from Nairobi CBD to that property is not more than 45 minutes. So yes.
Can you just clarify what you just said about if you have a plot and you don't have the money to buy what she's selling, what can she do to?
Unataka plot na una pesa?
No, niko na plot.
Uko na plot?
Yeah.
Unataka kuuza?
Kuuza.
So kama wewe tutasaidiana na wewe sana ukiwa na kutoka eka 5. But now when you have a plot, a single plot, for yeye sasa because it's a big business, hawezi kuzie sasa yeye ananunua big acres, anafanya retail. So unaona? Sasa ukimuuzia kamoja, ataweza kuuza kweli? Itakuwa gumu sana. Na untanile sasa ikuwe bei ni ile ya jioni. Yeah. Maybe acres. We talk about acres, but maybe hiyo mnaweza ongea naye akiwa pale chini, probably anaweza kuwa interested. Ama kuna mtu anaulizia shamba pande hiyo, she can also guide you on that. Nwali akiulia? Installment nimesema. Uko na swali? Any question? Mbona umesmile kama uko na swali? Wewe uko na swali, uliza swali. Hata kama ni salamu. Hata kama utamuuliza anaishi wapi.
Oh my goodness. I think tunaweza sema thank you so much for bringing this information. Because watu wengi hawaipati, and I know information is power, and so I think you have already empowered us also to go back and tukirudi kazini, we know that wacha tufanye so that we can be able to get something so that we can be able to buy. So that is really good. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Makofi mazuri. Yeah. Nilikuwa najua utasema kitu. My possible investor. Sema kitu.
Yeah, thank you again for actually bringing this information to us. Definitely, it's important to invest, and especially to have a place. And for us to make it possible for us, na hiyo ulikuwa nasema development. I like the way that the information you have given here, especially when I'm looking Victory Garden Phase 2, Roiro East, Joska, and Nanyuki. And it's something that now we can sit down and we process it, and then we can see what one can do. Yeah, it's
Okay, now what I was saying is this: do not ignore what it's not actually ignoring. Take serious what Jeremy and Jane Mara is doing, because I failed. Because some suburbs were being sold very cheap, and then there was some talks, some funny talks, and then I did not buy. And that the places that I have just mentioned is a brewery, just next to brewery. That estate called Guba Estate. We are selling at 40,000. I ignored. Another place is just next to that Jera, Takamete prison, just there, 300,000. It went like that. The other place is between Umonja and police. It was 40,000. And then somebody told me, because we were drinking, that it's not going to work. It's nothing like that. So please, today I'm telling you, invest now. I'm not telling you because of anything else, because you are young and you have time to do it. Right now, I'm learning to make meats aid so that I can retire. But if you have something right now, my friend, do not ignore this. Yeah. Okay.
I would like to encourage you to do what she's saying. I've gone through stuff. This morning, when I was preparing to come here, I opened my briefcase and I found letters from the city council, Nairobi. We had bought plots in Luai. I had bought over equivalent of an acre, but that was nothing. We lost everything. And those letters, I think, were just fake. So it's good when somebody is talking to you and she is doing the right thing. So I would encourage you to invest.
Okay. That's all.